Right, before my battery dies, I'm going to do a quick introduction again. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for liking. Thanks for comments. Thanks for everything. Today, I'm waiting for a delivery for a new charge controller. On recommendations that I'll get a new one so I can monitor the battery. Still got the whole sensor that I've got to fit. Still waiting for my battery tray. Need to sort out the cables, crimp the cables, cut the cables, length the cables, get the cables run, generally get everything in place ready for the fitting of the battery. Also, I need to remove, replace, reposition the emergency leg retract for the EMP leveling. That said, I've got a lot on. I'm going to get this caravan opened up and I'm going to crack on. Then I'm going to change a battery. See you in a bit. Now, I know you like being in the cupboard. Here's something my dad bought me. Rest his soul. I don't know, say 4 years ago. I think he thought he was taking the mickey. It's one of these. It's a little label maker, and I'll tell you what, I've used it before and I'm using it again because now I can make labels for wires that I'm just going to disconnect and I can label up. I think it's an amazing bit of kit. If you're going to be into conversions and things like that, I think you should get one of these just to label up your cables. Fantastic. I thought I'd just share that with you. On some recommendations, Caravan Bob, he made a comment about getting a different solar charge controller, an EPVER type, so you can monitor all your inputs and outputs and everything. I did look at it. Also, I've seen others where they've used Victron. Primarily, recently with Peter Caton, I have gone with the Victron. So I've gone with the Victron Bluetooth solar. It's a smart solar charge controller. Lots of people use Victron. It's going to take its place up here in place of the Truma. I don't think there's anything wrong with the Truma, so I didn't have to change it. However, for want of a better thing, just to monitor it so I can monitor it from the phone. If I'm outside, I don't have to come inside and have a look. That's what I'm going to be fitting. That's just turned up. So I'm a happy boy. Okay, little catch up. So this is where the fuses are. And here are the new cables, positive and negative going back. Negative block, positive block. And in there, you'll see, if I can show you there, they're the spare ones. Now they go through into here. So as you can see, I've put labels on there to say that's disconnected. I need to say these are disconnected, just so people know, or so that I know. I've also got to reroute this emergency retract cable, which I'm hoping will come up into there. And then I'm going to have to put the switch in here somewhere, and I think I'm going to put it up high so little fingers can't get to it, but that'll be another job. So at the minute I've got the negatives and the positives routed through. They're connected in. I've crimped them in using my lovely crimper. It's a good little tool. Right, under the bed, the battery. All this spare, I say all this spare, the negatives are probably too long. Positives are just probably long enough because I'm going to put in a isolator switch here. I need to cut the lengths off here so I can get the positives to there. But until I get the battery tray, until I can get the battery physically sighted, I don't really want to play about. I could do them. I'm trying to tell myself that I'm not going to do it, but actually I think I'm going to, because I can bring them up to here and then that'll give me a lot of cable to play with regards to the positives, and the negatives also. Negatives will just go straight on, so I can crimp them. I can tuck the excess cable just in behind the battery, so that won't be a problem. That'll be fine. I think I might do that actually. Might allow a little bit of wriggle room, but I mean that basically is where the battery's going. Terminals are there, so that's fine. With regards to charging is going to come predominantly through the solar. I've taken the 20 amp fuse, which is the battery, out of the circuit deliberately, so I've got no power. No power at the battery terminals here, and no power at the battery down there, so the positives and negatives are absolutely dead. Although the van is still electrically connected, we've still got 240 volts. He says, no, I haven't, because I've tripped it. I deliberately tripped it. Just because, bit of safety. Safety first. Yes, so that's a little catch up. We're going to crack on. I'll probably get on and do the negative crimp connections under the bed, and then that side of the battery bit can be done, finished. Just waiting for the tray. So yes, I'm going to. No, I mean this really isn't. I don't think it's very good. That was the solar positive, and that was how it was screwed in into there. So I'm going to be remaking that end. Battery, lovely. Solar, not so lovely. I don't know what this one's like. I don't know what this one's like, but when I get round to doing it, I'll show you. But yeah, that one there, not good at the minute. Right, welcome back. Oh, I'm still in my work clothes. Welcome back. I'm on my home run, I think. I believe I'm on my home run. So, batteries in there, cables down here connected. I've 3D printed some battery cable clamps. Really pleased how these have come out. Got myself some screws. Got my isolator. Got my. You didn't see this either. 3D printed a bracket for the isolator switch as well. So hopefully the bracket will be here. The battery plate should be here soon. On the homeward stretch today. I've just had a delivery as well. Just what I was after. So it's all coming together at last. Yay! Currently I'm quite impressed. This underneath the battery at the minute, you can see is a bit of a distance here, which is fine. It's not actually designed for this battery, but so this is a Fogstar tray. You've got holes in each corner, and there's one in the middle. I'm not going to put the one in the middle. What makes me kind of impressed with it is what you get with it. So you get the screws. So I should be drilling a pilot hole and popping the screws in. You get this sticky, I'm presuming it's sticky because you've got this on the back. It's a sticky rubber for where the battery is going to sit, so that's going to sit on the tray. And then what I've gone and bought as well is a load of strapping to strap the battery in, but it actually supplies something here which is Velcro. Should be okay. I've got two of those. One of those. I'm presuming one is a long one and one is a short one, which we'll find out in a bit. So I want to go lengthways, I want to go widthways. So yeah, I mean for £16, and that was delivered. I would recommend it. Currently, I would really recommend it. Looks pretty good. Quite thick gauge steel as well. I'd say it's about 2mm thick. It's only 1.5 to 2mm thick, and the hole's already pre-drilled and it's powder coated. So yeah, it all looks pretty good so far. So you know when I said earlier that this was sticky, it's not sticky. It's not sticky at all. It's just got a film on it from manufacturing. I've cut the corners anyway, just for me, because I thought it was sticky. I cut it before it was peeled. Now I know it wasn't sticky, I probably wouldn't have cut it. So there you go, live and learn. Not sticky. Don't peel it. Don't cut it. Just peel it and leave it on there if you want. Right. Dear oh dear. Stupid me. So just a quickie update, these aren't in properly yet. I'm going to get a couple of M8 nuts and washers to go on here and here and here and here for the positives. So I've just put up the hall sensor, which allows me to see, and let's peel that off. Oh, I'm not normally allowed to do this. There you go. This allows me to see battery, the current in or out, the power being drawn. Also tells me how long I've got left on the battery based on that there and that there and that there. So I've got 99 hours 59 minutes apparently. but it's full up anyway, so there we go. That's the hall sensor. I suppose it's in place of a shunt. Works with the battery, so all good. Okay, so I've been shopping because I didn't realise I needed these either. But what I've done is I've re-crimped the terminal on the end of the negative for the leg retract. Positives there, that's been joined, ready to go to the switch. I'm going to make an extension cable to go for the switch because I'm not too sure where I'm going to put it, but it's obviously going to be in here somewhere. And I feel it might be, because there's a panel here, I think I might put one there, but it'll be up high out of the way. So I've got some negatives and some positives to undo. I've got these to make good. Into that I'm going to disconnect the battery so I can do that, and then it's done. I'm just going to reassemble the shelf panel, put the door back on, and I should be good to go. So yeah, I've had to get those today. They're £3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish off what I've got here ever so quickly. I'm going to get the table up. I'm going to put down everything that I've used to do this. Some tools I've had, some tools I've had to buy, and there's tools that I've wanted anyway. So I'm going to go through a list of everything that I've used and give you a breakdown and price of the battery, the charger, the monitor, the solar charger. That I wasn't intending on getting one, but I did because I thought the Truma one would be okay. This way I can monitor it, so it's all good, all Bluetooth. So yes, I'm going to crack on, do that, and then we'll probably at the end have a final little chat about why I've done it, what I've done, how much it's cost, and parts and tools that I've needed. Okay, so it's taken some time. It's purely me, still dizzy and all that lot, but I've taken some time. I've got my dots to put on. Here we go. So I bought some dots, wood dots. I've got to put them on, but just thought I'd show you where I'll put everything back. So everything's back in. Now, believe it or not, I took this out this way. Okay, I've got these wires, not really worried about them. I took it out this way, but I think somebody's been in here and that should be on the other way because of this. I don't know, it doesn't matter. I've got my dots to put in, so I can kind of look at a bit of wood like that there, and I can just plop the dot over the top. It's not perfect, but it does hide the screws, and I think it's pretty good. So I've got I've got the dots to put on the screws, the Scots to put on the Drews. There's my emergency. I've not got the battery wired up at the minute. Battery's still isolated. Yes, right, I've got to put my dots on. Can't be too anal about them, can we? You certainly can't see the screws, that's for sure. So yes, put the dots back in. Oh, he says kick in that pot. That was in that cupboard. So Kim won't be happy if that's not back in there. All done, all solared up. There's it. Oh, got to put some dots on these as well. Got to put dots everywhere, look, see? Somebody did mention about having a solar isolator, which I can see the benefits of. I haven't got one in. I'm going to look at it and see if I can get one. I see the benefits of having one. There's never any in the caravans I've ever bought, and there hasn't been on motorhomes that I've bought. However, when people do self builds and change things, they like to say that there's an isolator on the solar input. I totally understand. I can isolate the battery, but what I can't do is isolate the solar. So if you need to work on the solar for whatever reason, or on the solar side, this is always going to be live while there's solar, obviously. I'm going to go and dot up now. I'm so happy this day's come. Right, that's it, install's done. Battery's in, charger's in, everything's sorted. Now, onto the elephant in the room, the cost. Now, I'm not going to put the cost of all the parts in this video. I will put a link, no, I won't bother with a link. I will put in the description below the cost of everything that I bought to complete this job. I have bought one thing which I didn't need. That was only because I was going to get a tray, and then I was going to, anyway, I got a new tray and the tray came with all the straps. So I bought straps that I didn't need. So I'm just going to show you tools, parts and stuff like that. It's all sat on the table. If you think I'm looking a bit funny, it's because it's sat on the table here. Obviously the battery isn't there, and the battery tray isn't there, and the wire isn't there. However, I'll show you all the tools that I've used, and I will put, like I say in the description, a cost of everything that I've spent to get this job done. Now, I think you could do this in a weekend. You could do it in a couple of hours if all it is just a battery out, battery in, job finished. I've gone for a much bigger battery, obviously, relocated the battery, so I've had to do not a major amount of work, but some work, which meant getting a couple of tools. One tool I wanted anyway, one tool I didn't really need, but I felt it just made things easier, and going forward doing different things, it's going to make my life a bit easier, so I've got that tool as well. Extras that I bought is the solar charger, the MPPT charger from Victron. Didn't need it because the trimmer one would have worked. However, the trimmer one isn't intelligent. I say intelligent as in I can't see what's happening inside, whereas the Victron one does. Victron, I can call up on an app and everything is in front of me, how the battery is charging itself. I'll show you in a minute. Right, so here we go. Here's the tools and everything that I believe I've used. I'm looking at the table thinking it looks a lot, but it's not. Okay, here we go. I'll turn you around. Right, so we'll start with this one. This is a set of snips that was able to cut through the cable cleanly. This is the hydraulic crimper that allowed me to crimp the 16mm cables. I'll give you approximate prices. It's about 30 quid with the cutters. I did move those. They're just little ordinary wire snips. Cable size, it depends on what you're tying up. I used it to tie the 16mm cables. Also, where the cables came back which aren't being used, I tied them up out of the way. Essential voltmeter. Don't do what I do and go down a rabbit hole of trying to find voltages where there's not. Heat shrink. These are glue lined heat shrinks. I've pretty much only used the ones that are only good for 16mm. So we've got some M10 luggs for 16mm cable. Had to get these because these were attached to the battery isolator. Battery isolator uses M10, not M8s. M8 16mm luggs, terminals, needed those. Obviously I've got to terminate the cable somehow, so that's what I've used. These are M8, these are, I think they got up to 6mm, don't quote me on that, but I needed these because there was work within there where the leg retract was. So the leg retract needed cables running back through and into here, and then under there is all the gubbins, and I had to relocate the switch. So that's my automatic leg retract switch, so it needed this size, so I've got those. These are a female insulated 15A spade crimps. These I had to buy. These are again 15A blue spade crimps, but these are the male. Again, that was to do with the leg retract. This one here, this is the Ferrule crimp tool. Now that I used, I don't know if you can quite see, but on the red and the black, they didn't have ferrules on. They were just plain old cables, very badly stripped, very badly inserted into the other MPPT. I wanted one of these crimp tools anyway, so I've got one and it's worked perfectly. So there's the old MPPT. We're not going to use that. It's still serviceable, there's nothing wrong with it. That's the box that the Victron MPPT charger came in, which is that one, the 7515 Bluetooth Smart Solar. Battery switch. I've never had a battery switch in a caravan before to isolate the battery, but I thought I'd just put one in. Again, same with the solar. People have been saying that you should use solar isolators, so the red and the black cable should be isolated. I haven't got that yet. I'm going to look into it. Butt splice ferrules, tried to use them, didn't work, waste of money, no point buying them. They will be used, but for this case I'm not going to use them. This is the battery strap that I bought. I'm not going to use it because it came, when I bought the battery tray, it came with its own straps. So I did some 3D printing. These, red and black, these allow the cables to be clamped and hidden out of the way. So red for positive, black for negative. If anybody wants any, hit me up in the notifications. Cost of carriage. That's all I'll ask for. Oops, sorry. That's all I'll ask for, cost of carriage. Dots. So I took the old one out, and you can't really see it to be fair, but bottom right hand side, and then just to the right in the middle, top left, bottom left, little wooden dots. So when you take a screw out, it leaves a hole. Or in this case, where I took screws out here, there wasn't a screw on that one, so I never took it out. The screw there, I've put one in. There was a screw here, taken one out. So I've replaced them. They came in a couple of days from Prima Leisure. Very helpful. Onto tools. I bought this one. This is one of the crimps that I've got a tool, but it's one of those little thin ones. It's not very good. These ones are a bit more better, I think. Bought one of those, and just general tools really. So socket set. This is a 3/8 socket set. 3/8 as in socket. Extended screwdriver to get down and get some screws out of a long distance. Snips, more screwdrivers, wire strippers. That is pretty much it. Like I said, there's battery and there's battery tray and cables that you can't see here, and the isolator switch, of course. That's how I've installed mine. Obviously I'm not a qualified electrician. I do consider myself competent to do things, as in to make terminals. You will see on the video where I've done a test crimp on a lug, cut it to make sure that all the copper is nice and tight, and it's perfect. Well, as far as I can see, it's perfect. So yeah, that's how I've installed mine. Obviously, if you go for a 100 amp battery that's a lithium, that's the same size or similar size to what you've currently got, it will probably just swap like for like. Take the lead acid one out, put the lithium one in, and that will be literally a 5-minute swap out. So what else have I used? Anything else? I can't think of anything else. So as far as swapping out, yeah, it could be a 5-second job, 5-minute job. Anyway, there you go. Like I said, that's the way I do it. I'm not a qualified electrician. If you take anything from it, give us a thumbs up. If you think there's something I could do better, give us a thumbs up. Pop a comment in the comments below. Don't see many caravan how-tos, not that this is a how-to, or any videos on lithium batteries in caravans, only in motorhomes. There is a bit of a grey area with regards to charging and how you can kill an alternator, but again, that's through motorhomes. I'm of an opinion where I've got a split charger in my car, which hasn't blown up my alternator. It's limited to 15 amps. As far as it's concerned, it still sees a load, whether it needs to charge it or not, and it'll put volts back there or not. And I believe it's only if the alternator is running slow or no air is going across the alternator to keep it cool and it's still under load. I think if I'd had a problem, I'd have had a problem by now with even a lead acid battery. So I'm not too worried about that at this minute. I will keep in touch and let you know if anything does happen in the future. So that's it. I'm going to just tot up in my mind here, roughly, and this is going to be a very, very, very rough estimate as to what I've spent. And I'm going to say I've spent around about £150 to £200 extra over and above the battery. The part of that is products that would not be included anyway, and tools that if you'd paid somebody else to do it, they would have the tools. However, I think I've made a bit of a saving, and hopefully my install's fine. Not hopefully, my install will be fine. All I've done is taken out 2 battery wires and replaced it with 2 battery wires. That's pretty much all I've done. Anyway, there we go. Hope you enjoyed it. Give us a like. If you don't like it, give us a dislike. Pop a comment if you don't like it and tell us why. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the series, although there's only 2. Hope you've enjoyed the 2 videos, and yeah, I think we're away soon. This is the beginning of June, so you may see this video this month. So you may see us out and about. We're off to Herman Fest next, so if we see you there, it'd be nice to see you. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Ciao.